I always hate doing reviews of people I genuinely like, because if I'm critical, it hurts me in a certain type of way. Yo guys, what's up? My name is the Judge Prime, the ITK. Welcome to another EP review. Today we're talking about Falz and Simi's joint EP, Chemistry. Now, Falz and Simi are Nigerian artists. Falz is a rapper whose music I've been unable to really enjoy. I've tried very hard to like his music. I think he's a very funny guy, but I just can't seem to enjoy his music. Simi is a very talented vocalist who I admire quite a bit. I've done an interview with her. A link will be in the description. Even 2 weeks ago when I did my review of Davido's album, or EP, sorry, Son of Mercy, I spoke highly of her. I believe that on that collaboration she did Maga to Mugu, she shined. Her vocals were amazing and she actually outshined Davido on that song. Now, talking about this project, Chemistry. This project has been called the Nigerian version of Big Sean and Jhené Aiko, obviously referencing their relationship and their joint album 2088. This album, in fact, is my first review on this channel. And talking about joint projects, especially with Falz and Simi, joint projects generally, what really does it for a joint project with me is balance, is chemistry, as this EP is titled, and also seeing how these two artists are able to work together with their own unique way of singing or artistry, with their own unique genres, and then coming together and seeing what type of music they could create. Now, obviously, with these two artists, there's been a lot of PR surrounding their friendship and then relationship, whatever. So with this EP, you get about 7 tracks and it's titled Chemistry. So going into this, I was expecting a lot of chemistry, a lot of, seamless transition between the two artists. And I am disappointed with this EP. I feel as though this EP wasn't very well structured. I feel as though there wasn't an overriding theme that ties this together. I feel as though it isn't very cohesive. It does a lot of things. It sounds pop one side, it sounds Afro beats, it sounds, so many things going on, and it isn't very cohesive in my opinion. Looking at previous tracks where chemistry was really shown, talking about Simi in this case, her track with Adekunle Gold moved me to tears the first time I listened to it. It was just a very compelling and beautiful song. Her song with Davido again was amazing. But with Falz, it doesn't feel like there's much chemistry together. Honestly, in my opinion, this collaboration feels very forced. It doesn't feel like it's authentic. It doesn't feel genuine. So going into the tracks themselves, the EP opens with a track Foreign. Basically on this track, it's very comedic, talking about people who act like they're foreign when they aren't really foreign or high class, when they haven't even left their city. A particular line that I like on this coming from Falz is he said something along the lines of, "Don't you guys have lasagne? And maybe I could wash it down with champagne." Very funny. I think Falz is a very funny guy, a good actor. And on this track, he does well. Simi seems a bit out of place on this track. I don't think she comes in with as much charisma or really embodies what I feel this track was trying to say. Some of the things she says on this track were a bit forced, and obviously with her cadence on this track, it also feels forced. Throughout this EP, it doesn't feel like Simi is completely in her element. It feels more like this is Falz's project, and Simi is just tagging along and trying to sound or trying to mesh more with Falz than Falz is trying to mesh with her. Track 2, 1, 2, I wasn't a fan of the singing on this track. I feel as though the mixing on this track and throughout this project wasn't done very well. There are certain times when I listen to it and Simi's voice sounds very screechy, a bit too high pitched, and like I said, there wasn't a very good transition between the two, Falz and Simi, and I wasn't a huge fan of this particular song. Track 3, Show You Pepe. Again, talking about, Falz on this track is talking about how she doesn't trust him and thinks he has a lot of groupies, a lot of, women on the side. And then Simi is also talking about, how she has another guy that is more handsome than him. A bit better in terms of the way they transition, the way they bounce off each other, and sort of show contrasting viewpoints within the relationship. I think throughout this project, there were times when there were themes of a relationship, when they were talking about contrasting within the relationship. However, a couple of tracks feel a bit misplaced and don't really show great chemistry. The next track is Cinderella. I really like the beat of this track. Simi seems to be more commanding on this song. It feels more like she is a little bit closer to being her natural self on this track. The production, again, or the mixing, I should say, is a bit, I don't feel like Simi was the one who was in charge of mixing on this track. But then again, song is okay. It doesn't blow me away, and it's just okay for me. The next track, Chemistry, I think this is the standout track of this EP, and probably for good reason, as it is the title track. Basically on this track, they talk about how people feel they will be good for each other, and how she had said, at first she wanted to be friends, but she's willing to give it another shot. Basically, I think you get the feeling that they're talking about us, the fans or the outsiders, thinking that they are together and saying they make a good couple, and perhaps they should give it a shot. Like I said, it's the standout track on this project. The next track, Shake Your Body, is a nice track, a nice, more lively track on this, and then the EP closes with Enough. So overall, with this project, I wasn't a fan of it. It didn't blow me away. I think that there wasn't much chemistry on this. For this to be titled Chemistry, I feel as though it wasn't authentic, it wasn't natural, felt a bit forced at parts. I don't think these two artists have the greatest chemistry together. Listening to the song No Forget, if you listen to No Forget, even if you listen to her cover, her remix of Controller by Drake, I think that showed a lot more chemistry than any of the songs on this EP. I would say that if you're a fan of their tracks together, Soldier and Jam Question, then you'll probably enjoy this. For me, I didn't think this was up to par for Simi. Being a fan of Simi myself, I still don't like Falz. I think he's a funny guy. I just don't like his music. And I think partly due to that, the quality of this dropped, in my opinion. I'm going to give this a 3.5 out of 10. This could have been much, much better, in my opinion. It's an okay project if you're a fan of the two. If you're a fan of Falz and Simi, for me, it is just not good enough. But those are just my opinions. Don't take them too personally. I just tell you how I feel about a project. I would have loved to have seen a better theme with this project. I don't think there was really any theme on this. If you were to compare this with another collaborative album, my first review on this channel, again, 2088, I would recommend you go and listen to that and then just sort of see why I say there wasn't much chemistry between the two. I don't think their voices even mesh well for there to be chemistry between the two. But like I said, these are just my opinions. I'm sure you will feel differently, or maybe you will agree with some of the things I've said. Be sure to let me know in the comments below. I'll leave a link to this project in the description below. Be sure to check it out. Go and buy the album if you're a fan of either of these artists and enjoy the music. My name is Nigerian Prime. I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, please be sure to leave a like. If you're new around here, why not click subscribe? I hope you have a blessed day, and I'll see you in the next video. Goodbye.